Hey everyone, so this is When My Stuff Sent In, aka Crazy. Today I'm randoming a ship in Star Battle X. Here I ended up randoming an Arbiter, so that's what I'm gonna play! We're in a public quick match in a 5 vs 5. The ratings are kind of messed up right now because we have so many players in this new version that don't have any games under their belt because they didn't transfer over the bank file. I'm gonna quick kill this music so that I think it's a little too loud. There we go. I reduced it quite a bit. Hopefully that won't be as distracting. Alright, so we have a Guardian, a Dread, and a Void Ray as allies. We're up against a Frigate, a Guardian, an Overlord, and 2 other ships that haven't come out yet. We also have a Carrier as an ally. Shmoopy is on my team, and so he's a long-time player, but he has a lot of poor decision-making, so I think that he has played so much isn't necessarily a boon. He still keeps playing the way he does after this long. I was trying to push us back here in the top. I ended up just going this side storm opening. Side storm opening is not really something you're going to want all the time in a competitive match. It's pretty common in pub matches. Now they do have an Overlord, so I'm going to want feedback real soon. But I do want to try to generally, ideally, if you're not really getting completely shut down, you want to get to 400 energy before you pick up your second spell, so that you can kind of maintain the side storm spam. And that, I mean, we are kind of containing them in their base right now. We have a little bit more aggression, a little bit more damage from them, and so that's good so far. But we need to be able to keep it up. To get some more storms on him, get him burning. I think he was burning, so he's gonna have to go back and heal. Get him off the lane for a few minutes. It's time to just get the creep. So we generate minerals through destroying these small ships, and we win the game by killing all of the enemy team and then working down and destroying the command center. This is not a particularly competitive match. But I think that'll make it a little bit easier for me to explain what's going on as we play. So they have a Leviathan on their team as well. It's not really good to be a Leviathan if your team gets contained, because a Leviathan is a really heavy curve ship where he wants lots and lots of minerals really very quickly, and that's how he becomes strong and can contain the enemy. If he gets contained, then he doesn't have a ton of options for really breaking out of it. So right now he's more reliant on the Overlord and the Guardian right now if they do kind of remain contained here. Maybe the Frigate as well. Fortunately our Carrier has very poor map awareness. I don't know why our team is randomly backing off. This is kind of the frustration of playing in public matches, is that people make decisions that you can't anticipate because they don't really make any sense, right? I mean, why is this Guardian all the way back here? Why did this Carrier push in all this way? I have no idea. I might actually die here as well, as I try to save this Carrier, who probably is not really all that good anyway. Our Guardian came in and is trying to help us out, but he's dead. There's no way I'm going to be able to save this. So that's not a huge concern for me at this point. We are still considerably up on minerals, so actually losing a Carrier that doesn't know what he's doing early on is actually better a lot of the time than losing a Carrier that doesn't know what he's doing after he's lost a lot of minerals. So here I am getting up to just some normal farming ups. A lot of people might not get farming ups as an Arbiter because they just plan to do all the farming with Storm, but that really eats up a lot of mana. I didn't quite grab feedback yet. I'm going to be coming up with that soon. I'm just going to pick up some more warp and some more energy right now. Again, these are not necessarily the apps you'd want in a more competitive match, but in going into 10 minutes, it's healthy to stay on 2-shot farming even as a support a lot of the time. Some people will probably disagree with that, that say, you know, you really should have feedback by now. And I would probably agree with that, actually. I am being a little bit greedy in the way I did my ups right here. And being greedy as a support can really easily result in a loss. I mean, you need to be really putting out certain things very early in the game to make things work, but we might... Oh yeah, we got this. Overlord, he got too greedy too. So now that the Overlord's dead, it's actually almost good that I didn't get feedback, because what I need now is going to be Force Field to deal with the Colossus and the Frigate. Not sure what this Guardian was doing. It's kind of hard to read their builds at this point because they're underfarmed. Oh, he got corrosive, so actually I could get feedback from these guys too. It's not, they don't really have the most offensive spells, but they do have some capacities. Joe over here has been working with Swoopy, who has a very weird build, to take out people just as they're trying to work around. So this would be a good point, you know, to have Chrono Boost or something like that. But I still have my Storm, so I can continue to maintain damage on this Colossus as we push him back. So this Colossus is going to drop, and this game is already over, regardless of whether he dies or not. We don't need to commit overly hard into the towers, but we don't need to. At this point, they only have one ship left. They're beginning to leave. So they're complaining about Shmoopy, but really, it's not Shmoopy that killed them. Shmoopy had the farm that he could have been dealing a lot more damage. He has okay beam speed, but he doesn't have a lot of beam ups. He probably has charge as well, but he could have prioritized damage even more, but he didn't. But our team as a whole just had enough damage that their cheesy build wasn't going to work. You know, they were getting jets as frigate and these other mobility ups, and in the early game, you really need damage to avoid a contain. So by a contain, I mean, you know, if you get stuck kind of defending these towers back here, if you can't go out and farm, like around here, then you are going to be losing minerals very quickly, because the faster you kill these little creeps, the faster they respawn. And that means that it's basically like a snowball, getting more minerals, farming at this point of the base. So yeah, they're all leaving except we're even losing some people on our team because they don't really care about the score enough to even stay in at the finish, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter. This game is really over either way. I don't think that Shmoopy is going to be able to finish right here. As I said, you know, he doesn't really have a huge prior. Oh, but I'm going to be able to just storm him. Okay, and that's the game. So this was not really the most competitive build, but it is a build, you know. So this is a Arbiter Storm build with some additional farming. So it's a very greedy build, and you can get away with it if you're playing against terrible enemies. So that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed.